When The Last of Us Part 2 first released in 2020, it earned near universal acclaim from critics for its heartbreaking story, jaw-dropping visuals, and incredibly intense gameplay. 4 years later, Naughty Dog brought the game to PS5 as The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered, which improved the graphics slightly, added DualSense controller support, and most importantly, introduced the roguelike no-return mode, giving the game significantly more replay value in the process. Now PC gamers can finally see what all the fuss is about, as The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is finally available on their platform of choice. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is the latest PC port from Sony, which have varied dramatically in quality. Some PlayStation PC ports have launched without any major issues, with PC gamers able to get an identical or arguably improved experience compared to their console counterparts. Other PC ports haven't been so lucky. The Last of Us Part 1 PC port had serious issues, and more recently, the Marvel Spider-Man 2 PC port launched in a poor state. With these problems fresh in my mind, I held my breath as I went into The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC, worried that it would be a lackluster version of the game. Luckily, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's PC port doesn't seem to suffer from any of the major issues that plagued Part 1's PC release. My experience with the game was virtually identical to my time with The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PS5, with little in the way of technical problems. Still, the PC port isn't perfect. I did experience occasional lag at various action-heavy points that were not in the PS5 version of the game, but this tended to happen in the middle of melee attack animations. It didn't really have an impact on gameplay and didn't happen all that frequently, but it happened enough to be distracting and warrant mentioning. Otherwise, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC is more or less identical to its PS5 counterpart. That means PC gamers can enjoy a meaty, epic, blood-soaked story of revenge that, while certainly controversial, is quite easily one of the most memorable tales told in gaming history. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's performances, from Ashley Johnson's Ellie to Laura Bailey's Abby, are truly spectacular. Minor pacing issues in the middle aside, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's story grabs hold and never lets go until the credits roll. It's an emotionally exhausting story that can't really be talked about in detail without spoiling anything. So PC gamers that somehow haven't gotten the major moments spoiled for them yet are in for a treat. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered features some of the most brutal combat in any game, with frighteningly realistic violence. Ellie and Abby are the game's two main playable characters, and each have to deal with hordes of human enemies as well as the extremely dangerous infected. The game features the perfect blend of stealth, melee combat, and shootouts, with players having to scavenge for supplies to make sure that they are ready for anything the game throws at them. Of course, with The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered now on PC, gamers have the chance to experience it all with a mouse and keyboard setup instead of a PlayStation controller. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered takes great advantage of the DualSense's unique features, and it definitely feels better with a controller. That being said, there is nothing wrong with playing through the game using a mouse and keyboard. Aiming with a mouse in particular feels great, with players able to snap directly to enemy heads a lot faster than they can with a controller. No Return is back and bigger than ever. Besides mouse and keyboard support, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC also features some brand new content for the No Return roguelike mode. No Return was the key selling point of the original Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PS5, and it remains as fun and challenging as ever on PC. The gist of it is that players select a character from the Last of Us universe and progress through various levels, earning points that can in turn be used to upgrade weaponry and get an advantage in later fights. Dying means starting over from scratch, though players can unlock new playable characters and other bonuses by doing well in runs. Those that don't like roguelike game modes won't be converted by The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered's No Return, but it's fun and is a great way to get a quick fix of the game's action without having to dive back into the story mode. The PC release coincides with an update to No Return that adds fan-favorite characters Bill and Marlene from The Last of Us Part 1, with players having to complete fresh challenges to unlock them in the game. There are also 4 new stages added to the mix, ensuring that No Return has more content than ever before. PlayStation gamers aren't being left out either, as the PS5 version of the game will also have access to the fresh No Return content. Note, I tested The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered on PC using an NVIDIA GeForce RTX 3080, 3.70 GHz AMD Ryzen 9 5900X12 core processor, and 32.0 GB RAM. Speaking of PlayStation, a common criticism of the company's PC ports has been forcing players to use a PSN account. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered does not have a PSN requirement, but it does give players some bonus content if they choose to use one. By linking their PSN account with Steam, The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered PC gamers can get a special intergalactic jacket for Ellie that lets her dress up like the protagonist of Naughty Dog's upcoming sci-fi action-adventure game. Players also get 50 points to spend on unlocking bonus content and can earn PlayStation trophies. It's still annoying that there's no cross-save support for these PlayStation to PC games, but not forcing it on players is a huge step in the right direction. The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered is a great port that successfully brings the PlayStation Classic to PC. It's a stellar-looking game with engaging gameplay and a brilliant story that will keep players engrossed from start to finish. PC gamers that enjoyed the original and can't wait to see what happens next shouldn't hesitate to pick it up. Give The Last of Us Part 2 Remastered PC a 9/10.